Purge seats, your automatic dampers, and what else? Your sunroof, aka moonroof. Hapo tuko sawa?
Kabisa.
Bas. Ukitaka paa unaenda wapi? Chloride?
Excite.
Bas.
All right. So this is what we are going to do now that we have a little bit of power. It's a question that we need to ask ourselves this morning. Dear Mr. President, we normally come in to start the week and say there's certain things that, you know, just from the week before, this is what Kenyans seem to be asking you for. Uphold the rights of Kenyans. Now, in order for me to ask you to do something for me, I'm going to have to understand what that thing is. Uphold the rights of Kenyans, dear Mr. President, but we want to ask you first. Do you know what your rights are as a Kenyan?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can be asking for something that you don't know what it is. Mtoto Alia, what's that Kiswahili saying?
What exactly do you want?
The one for the razor blade.
Oh. Hey. Mtoto akililia wembe. Mpe.
Exactly. So now you're asking for certain things. Do you actually know what that means? Yeah. Where do they start and where do they begin? But when we talk about human rights and when we talk about your rights as a Kenyan, do you actually know what those are? And that if dealt in any situation, there is a right to be upheld in this country. It doesn't matter where it is. And I think about it. And I was just doing research over the last couple of days, that when you say that there is a right to be upheld, in any situation in which you are as a Kenyan today, there is a right to be upheld. When you wake up in the morning and you get to where you're going, there's a right to be upheld there. Whether it is your protection, whether it is that the taxes that you pay and they need to be going towards something, whether it is the right to free and affordable health care, whether there is a right to free education for your children, whether there is a right for children to then be in school, that there is a right for them not to be on the road selling, that they should actually be in school, and that when they're not in school, they should be continuing their learning, or then in a place where they can then actually play. Whether you're at work, there are rights. Whether that you're running a business, there are rights. Whether you're just as a Kenyan in a space, there are rights for you not to be disappeared and or killed extrajudicially.
Or tortured.
Do you know what those rights are? We actually want to hear from you this morning, so that let's establish that you are aware of what those are, and then when you speak to the powers that be, or the people that you have donated your power to temporarily, they can ensure that those rights are actually kept and upheld. Follow me so far?
Yes.
All right. You know what your rights are, you can then demand for them. Or that you can exercise your knowledge when met with a situation whereby the rights then that you speak of need to then be upheld.
Yes.
If you do not know what they are, you cannot demand them.
Demand them.
Serious. If you do not know what they are, can you imagine if somebody is arresting you and you don't even know that if they have not brought a charge against you in the next 24 hours, that they must let you go? If you don't know that, then we have a problem. That if somebody is trying to arrest you and they do not show you their badge number and or name, or they're not in official uniform, there's a problem. Do we know these things? Do we know that if your child is you, do you know that you are abrogating the rights of your own child if they are not in school? So when we say make it a situation conducive as to where my rights can be upheld, dear Mr. President, do you know what they are?
And I think also it goes beyond knowing what your rights are, but can you stand and defend that right when you're called upon? In the instant where you've been arrested breaking the law, say you were speeding above the speed level limits, and a police officer comes through, arrests you, do you agree and say, police officer, I have broken the law, take me in, I will follow the law? Or are you the very same person who, on the other hand, says, Mr. President, I have the right to demonstrate. My child has the right to go to school. But you are, on the other hand, abrogating the right for you to be charged in court because it is easier for you to pay bribe. At what point then do you choose to say, these are my rights? But on the other hand, you are the very first person to break the very law that gives you the right.
Yep. It's the question that we're asking this morning before you can demand certain things of your president. So we need you to call us this morning and tell us so that we can get an understanding of what some of these things are. 0732-142-650. 0732-142-652. Abi? 1. Okay. We'll get that very clear in just a minute. So many numbers bouncing around in my head. Did you know you also have a right to recall the person that you have given representation over you? Did you know that you have a right as a citizen in a private capacity to petition against something that you see is going wrong? Do you know that? Do you know that you have a right to demand how your county is spending their money? You can actually say, excuse me, I, having voted you in at this level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, can actually demand that of you. Do you know that you can do that as a private petitioner, or that you can do that, those people who come together mushrooming and say, we are actually going to ask this question? People have been doing it. The Katiba Institute, we have Okoag Uchumi. It's like they spend every waking moment petitioning some of these things, and they've been doing it on the behalf of Kenyans for a very long time. But do you know that you actually have a right to do that? Let me tell you something. The right to demonstrate, the right to lobby, the right to picket is guaranteed. It is not suggested. It is guaranteed under the Constitution. Now, some of these things where people say, did you see grown-up men and women who tell you that they want to run and be your leaders, running away from the police during the commemoration on Thursday last week? So that means even at some level, there are people who are not even sure, can I be in this space and reserve the right to not be abducted, disappeared, or killed? Even at that point, we battle with it. So, do you understand what they are? Because if you don't understand what they are, you cannot demand them. These are some of the questions that we're asking this morning. So even when you're asking somebody to uphold something, if you yourself are not sure, I don't even think that you can ask somebody else to uphold those things for you if you do not understand what they are.
I mean, do we know what it is you're fighting for? Because for a very long time we said the Constitution is clear. The Constitution has said.
To who?
Have you read it? Do you understand what the Constitution is saying? I mean, have you taken the trouble for anyone so that when you are stopped during these demos that you're saying, my right is guaranteed, this is what it says, and I stand by it? That when police officers come or anyone tells you not to show up, that you can actually look straight into their eyes and tell them, this is my right. It is guaranteed by the Constitution, and I'm not here begging because the Constitution has guaranteed it. We can work together so that I can achieve my goals, which is to demonstrate, right? But you cannot stop me, Do we understand the work that went into giving us this power? Or are we just following the wind like a flag, right? Simply because we can, and because there are others who are pushing us. One would be for the political game, right? Not because entirely they are invested in that which you are pushing as Mwananchi. Are we also saying we have this right because it is politically inclinated, or simply because we genuinely and honestly want to uphold these rights that we've been given by the Katiba?
Indeed, let's take your calls this morning. We're hearing from you. 0732142653 or 0732142650. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Yes, this is Kerry from Lamington, Kangware.
Yes, Kerry, good morning.
Good morning, Duan Dennis.
Asante.
I just wanted to say about the rights. As much as the responsibility of knowing our rights is also part of our civic duties, the greater responsibility lies in those of authority, and they have Article 46, I think, which speaks about the responsibility of state and public officers in upholding the rights of the individual and the right of the citizen. But I just wanted to say, if you indulge me just for 3 minutes,
yes,
that we are seeing a clawback on these rights, and it's eminent everywhere. But I want to remind those in authority that in South Africa recently, a police officer, a very senior police officer, sat down and said, no, it can't continue anymore. And he decided to let go. He's called Muhwanazia. Their names are very difficult. I can't remember the first name, but I've been following the following story. It's called Muhwanazia. Sometime in June, I think.
Yeah.
And he said that the police force, no, it was before June, I think in May. And he said the police force in South Africa is completely corrupt. And he gave the entire legal justice system, right from the from the judiciary all the way to the arms of that are involved in the justice system. He mentioned even the Minister for Internal, what they call the Internal Security, or Minister for State, and the number of times he's tried to interfere with police investigation and giving police direction against the law.
Mm-hmm.
And unlike here, where such an officer would have been silenced, I think for all the dark things that are going on in South Africa right now, the president set up a commission called the Madlanga Commission.
Madlanga.
It was named after. It's a commission, a judicial inquiry, but it has been nicknamed the Madlanga Commission because Madlanga is the Deputy Chief Justice. So he's the chairman of that commission. And I tell you, the revelations that have come out of that commission are mind-boggling, because the minister, were the things that most police officers say the minister had done and had facilitated. It forced the minister to step down. And there is a whole chain of senior police officers who have been involved in drug trafficking, money laundering, and all type of human rights abuses. They even had a secret house where they tortured anyone who tried to, try and share information about the criminality of the police force. So as they sit in those public offices and think that they will never, the law will never catch up with them, or they will trample on people's rights and it will go that way, I'd just like to call them to know that it will one day catch up with them. We had a former Inspector General of Police, and those days we called them Police Commissioner, called Matthew Tere. He said that there is no perfect crime, and even if the populace elect politicians who have criminal intent and who make it difficult for the police to execute their duty, one day the rule of law will catch up with them. And so let me just end it there and say the law will prevail. Nobody has ever won over the law. Even those who are now closing media houses in our neighboring countries, I want just to report to them that the rule of law will always win over the rule of man. I thank you very much.
Kerry, thank you very much for your assertions this morning. It may take a while, but it's going to happen. Let's take some more calls this morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very fine. Is that Spice FM?
Yes, it is. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Jane. I'm calling from Kajiado.
Yes, Jane.
I want to bring to the media the attention of the retirement of public officers in the government who are not being replaced. I also came to learn through my own research, because I was wondering why we are training some students in a technical college and they're not being absorbed by the same department. I came to learn at our ministry that there is money. The money that the officers who retire is still budgeted on in every financial year. And once the officers retire, that money is supposed to employ the entry point officers also. Let me give you a scenario. In our department currently, just this year, 53 officers are going to retire. Let us assume that each officer is retiring at a job group which is very high. They are getting paid over maybe 200,000 per month. That is almost 10.6 million per month. That 10.6 million, that the 200,000 that a retiring officer is paid, can employ almost 3 entry officers, because they're employed at a lower job group.
So do you work? I get what you're saying. You work for the ministry?
I work at a department.
A department in the ministry. So what you're talking about, because this bleeds into our conversation, that there's certain rights that you must know, that if somebody is retired, that there is the right of those who are coming in at an entry-level place to then be able to earn because of that. So the money that essentially has been saved, quote unquote, by those who have retired now should actually be in place to hire new people.
Yes, which is not happening in most state departments. So you can imagine the colossal amount of money that the government is pocketing.
Why is this not happening?
It is just part of corruption, because maybe that is the money they're also giving to the people who are lining up for their these political rhetorics that are happening in our country. You can imagine if only in our own department you can save 10.6 million per month times 12 per year, and we have not employed people for almost 7 years.
And however, the ministries, rather even at the department level, come every August, that there are budget lines that departments have to then give to the ministry in terms of the money that you want to spend in the next financial year.
And the money is funded, yes. The budget is just as the same as last year, even better this year. For example, last year we got 1.5 billion. As a state department, this year we have gotten 1.7 billion.
And what you're telling us now is that if you're looking at about 10 million shillings that is saved again with the retirement of certain individuals, that it is not going back into the hiring of new individuals. So we see a couple of things happening here, that the workload increases then on the staff that have been retained, and that there's money which is in the budget which is not going towards staff retention, for example.
In fact, the people who are working in outstations, because we have offices countrywide, they are really complaining because of the workload, because most of them are past 57 years. Because the youngest that we employed are past maybe 35.
So also, you're not employing young people?
Yes, we are not.
Who are graduates from university, for example, or who have come out of the 2-year diploma TVETs?
Because I was an instructor in our college, until I blew up a corruption scandal, then I was transferred. But even from our own college, we are not employing the technical staff that we are training. They have diploma. We went with a colleague of mine to Public Service Commission, and they told us we are supposed to have a letter to employ both the diplomas holders and the degree holders. That is how the government works essentially anyway. And we have never employed the diploma holders for 7 years. Yes, we train them, and the cost that we train them for is very expensive. For 2 years, we pay 316, almost 320,000.
I need you to repeat something because we're going to go to a break, Jane. But I need to understand, and I think Dennis's confusion is mirroring mine. You've said that the people who go to TVETs, because from our understanding, that TVETs were I think Jane has knocked. Is Jane still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. The question that we're asking, TVETs were instituted or at least buffered because there was an option where people could go into varsity education at a lower cost for a shorter period of time, but then there would be guaranteed work thereafter. Now, what you're telling us is that for the past 7 years in your department, do you mind to tell us which department this is we're talking about? Or are you just going to hold on to that? Hold on to that. That's fine, Jane. We completely understand.
Yeah.
But you're saying that for the last 7 years, there have been no hiring of these same students who are coming out of TVETs. So you're not hiring younger people, you're retiring older ones, you're hiring people who've been in the workforce for at least 10 years, and the new folks who are coming up through the education system are not being considered for work.
Yes.
And also, what you're saying is that for the individuals who've retired for over 7 years now, you've not replaced them, yet there have been budgets allocated to them in terms of salaries.
Yes.
That means in 7 years, there is 700 million shillings that is just playing around that cannot be accounted for because it was allocated anyway.
It is not even 700 million. It is 10.6 million. Let us just give a mean of what has happened this year. If 53 people are retiring and they have a salary of 200,000, let us just give an example. That is 10.6 million
in a month.
In a month, yeah. So in 1 year, that would be 100 and something.
12 times 7 is 84.
Yeah. Wow.
Times 7 years.
Okay. Jane? We were having a conversation about rights, and we thought, do you know your rights? And these are some basic things that we're talking about in terms of rights.
I've been listening to Spice FM for quite a while.
Thank you very much, because what you've told us this morning is right in line with what we are talking about. Because then when you go and you say that somebody is going to be appointed a CS in a particular ministry, or people are going to be PSs, the rights of people then to be able to deal with things like this is exactly what we're talking about. That the people, the children who go to school, The children who go to school and come out of university and say, okay, I have a HELB loan to pay for goodness sake, or something like that. How am I going to do without work? And there's space, according to what we know, that has been created for these graduates to enter into a program working for government. Okay, Jane.
Yes.
Jane, thank you very much for your call this morning. We're going to take your number and hang on to the line and talk to you in a bit thereafter, because this is very interesting. I reckon that there is a lot more hanging on in there that we may not know about. But thank you very much for calling this morning. Keep listening.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. All right, what we're going to do, because I think we need it, is that we're going to take a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
Because, my goodness, some of the things that we hear will actually shock you. And, things are working, or so we're told. This is the Situation Room. Our conversation with dear Mr. President this morning is that please uphold our rights. That's Jane. She has given you a direct example of things that are actually not happening. Right to employment, right to education, and then to actually have your skill set be practiced.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll be back.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. This is the Situation Room. The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
So, do you see now what we're talking about?
Yes.
To blow the lid on some of these things, you have a right, folks. We continue with our calls this morning. We are saying, dear Mr. President, but we've not even addressed the president yet.
Not yet.
You guys, let's talk about the things that you see or understand that you can say, harp on your rights. Do you even know what those are? Jane does. She's called us this morning. Did you hear what she said? Let's take a few more calls. We'll hear them from you this morning. 0732-142-653 or 0732-142-650. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
good morning.
Hi, how you doing, Dennis?
Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from, sir.
My name is Kennedy. I'm calling from Nairobi.
Yes, Kennedy in Nairobi. How are things?
Yeah.
You're right. Do you know what they are?
Yes, I might know them, but in Kenya, your rights are formalities.
Like which ones?
I think Kenyans rights are one of the most violated in the world.
Why would you say that?
One of the most violated. I think probably for the middle class, you might not understand. But for me, I work as a taxi driver. And Kwanza, labor laws are one of the most unadhered to. Labor laws, Kwanza in Kenya, if you see people are employed for 300, 200. My first employment was for 150 shillings per day. You look and wonder you wonder what your rights are. And also, police are one of the most. They violate the Kenyans' rights the most, because you look one time. Kwanza, these taxi drivers they violate them all the time. Unapata unashikwa. Then when you go to the police station, the one who has arrested you atakwambia madam hapo ama saa atakwambia makosa yako, and he's the one who has arrested you. Then he doesn't book you at the OB. He books you, anakuandikia karatasi, anakuambia sasa wewe tumekuona na hii makosa ende ulete cash bill ya 2000. Then you bargain, unasema okay enda basi ulete yenye 500 yenye utapata. You look and wonder, ni makosa unatafuta ama ni nini? Because the police kwanza
ama ni pesa unatafuta.
Kwanza they are wamekaa kila mahali. Kasarani, you find them along Likoni Road, wamepangana line huko. Rongai, ukiingia Kitengela, mbao unashindwa, is this wanatafuta pesa, or they are supposed to protect rights of citizens. And also in the public health here in Kenya is a mess. We don't have the right to health care. Your right to health care, hiyo ni formality. Probably Bonadwale aende kwa na right to health care peke yake hii Kenya, and probably a few individuals in the high echelon. Because you tell me you are going to a public facility to receive treatment, umeshalipa consultation fee at 8, probably 8 p.m. That's what happened for me some time back. Umeenda umelipa consultation fee at KU referral. Umeenda umelipa consultation fee at 8:30 p.m. Then una
PM ama AM?
PM usiku. Unaambia daktari sasa atakuona masaa. You sit there, daktari alikuwa anatuona saa 8 usiku.
Hiyo ni asubuhi saa 8 sasa.
Asubuhi, the next day 6 a.m. also bado hatajafanyiwa CT scan. If you are supposed to die, ungekuwa ushakufa kitambo.
If you are supposed to die.
Yeah, kama wewe ulikuwa ukufe, utakufa tu. Instead of them kushughulikia wanakuua kabisa. And then also, even right data privacy, you're not being respected in this. Kwanza when you are a visitor in this middle class estates, like Nyayo estate, unapata right to data privacy, unaambiwa atuache kitambulisho ndio ingie estate. That kitambulisho, you don't know what they are doing with that information. That's your national ID. You leave it at the gate. You don't know if they use it for money laundering. They'll register SIM cards. You don't know if they'll register PayPal accounts. Unapata watu wanashikwa na vitu zenye hata waelewi.
True.
I think that's my contribution for today.
And solid ones at that, Kennedy. Thank you for calling in this morning, because there it is. What you've done is that you've also taught some people that they didn't even know that some of these things are actually rights that we should actually hold on to. Thank you for your call this morning. This is why we need to have these conversations. Asante sana. All right, we're hearing from more of you this morning. 0732 142 653, 0732 142 650. You're breathing, breathe in the nose, out of the mouth, because you need to control your breathing, my friend.
You know, last week I had a mouthful with security officers in a certain estate and going to do a story. And this gentleman asked for ID. So I asked, so they take my ID and he scans it. I ask him, why are you scanning my ID? You're not supposed to have that information. Oh, you know, I don't know where it goes. It goes to a certain database somewhere. I go and tell this gentleman.
He said this with his words, his mouth to you?
I even went to the office. And that guy, I'm like, a guy, check. You are not supposed to have my details. That is according to the data regulations of the country. So tell me who is the custodian of this information and what it is that you're doing with that information and when you will be deleting it from your system. He didn't have answers. That is what we're operating with, including individuals who've been given the responsibility of security. While I understand security when you're getting into estates, right? Yeah. These individuals need to equally have information to give their clients when you ask such questions. People don't know their rights out here.
We don't.
We don't.
Dennis Asatu will tell you how one day he was coming from Eldoret to Nairobi and he was arrested for walking from the stage to the next stage.
You know what it was called? It was called Ndindi. Walking under the influence.
Of tiredness.
I'm bringing you my kidneys clean. Someone says I'm drunk. When you ask for, okay, fine, you said that I'm drunk. As a police officer, you need evidence. Let's go for a toxicological report that will back your evidence.
Which is your right to demand.
Which is my right to demand. At that point, the OCS said, Jama, take your things and
go. Your ally is too much. Yeah. Let's hear from you guys this morning. 0732 142 650, 0732 142 653. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Fred Mulama from Kaeka, Kakamega.
Yes, Fred Mulama.
Ningependa kuchangia hii mchatalo ya KTN.
Tuendelee.
Nasema. Mimi ni Fred Mulama kutoka Kaeka.
Kabisa tumekushika.
Nasema hivi Kenya Ruto asha corrupt kwa wakati alikopa hiyo pesa ndio sasa atamaliza nayo wa Kenya. Kwa alipewa pesa sasa trillions of money ndio afanyie siasa alafu wa Kenya waone wenyewe kwa wenyewe.
Oi. Wewe unaona nenda mbaya? I think okay, I think we may have lost him, but I think we got the message, Mulama. Yes. We got the message. And in terms of your rights, that money is actually yours. Kenyans.
Yes.
You see this money that everybody's talking about jumping up and down? It's actually your money.
Imagine
it may not be the money in your
yours.
pocket. The debt is also yours. Let's hear from you this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello,
Yay.
good morning.
Good morning.
Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from. Okay, he's disappeared. But they're still coming in. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay. All right, maybe we need to check on that. I think our calls are dropping. But the fact that we don't even know.
Yeah.
Do you know the number of people... Let me clear my throat because this one needs some help. Just getting a bit of a note from a legal friend this morning. He says, you know what? Another right that people don't know. The number of people today in remand. Remand means that you're not in prison. Remand is holding until either you're temporarily holding. So that means that, number one, you can't be on remand for a year. You can't be on remand for 2, 3, 4 years, which actually is the situation. And that a lot of people who are on remand today are therefore not being able to raise the fine fees, not being able to do 1, 2, 3. According to what he's telling me, people don't know their rights in terms of what you can demand.
Yes.
To be released on your own recognizance, to be released on a personal bond, to be released on a free bond, to be released on
Bail.
Bail. You don't. But if you can't raise
Yeah.
it now, that's another
Yes.
problem. But on those first 3 that you can actually be, the number of people who have even become the people who welcome others in remand.
Yeah.
Karibu sana hapa unaweza lala no. It's
Ole hiyo.
unbelievable.
Oh.
According to this wakili
Yeah.
who is telling us, people don't even realize that your person could have been out the day after they were put on remand.
Yes.
But we are there languishing.
We also don't know, many who get arrested, that you have the right to get an opportunity to call your lawyer or your significant other.
You should be able to
come
make a
in,
phone
to make
call.
a phone call to anyone who will be able to help you in dealing with the matter in court or in police cells.
Do we know? Do we know? This has been Dear Mr. President. But before we address Dear Mr. President, let's arrange ourselves.
Yeah.
That you need to be knowing certain things before you take it to the next level. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning, please. Tell us your name and where you're calling in from, sir.
Oh, my name is Daniel.
Yes, Daniel. Where are you this morning?
I'm interested to know. I mean, there's something that is happening, and I think the media is not taking.
We can hear you, Daniel. Can you turn down the volume on your radio first of
I'm
all?
in
Let's start
Nairobi.
there. Okay, you're in Nairobi. Turn down the volume on your radio. That can help us a little bit.
It seriously.
Daniel,
Yeah.
turn down the volume on
There
your
is a
radio,
case
please,
that was
sir.
taken.
Okay, let's get you to turn down the volume on your radio and then perhaps give us a ring back, okay? Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please tell us your name and where you're calling in from.
This is Eric Adera
Yes, Eric.
from Kisumu.
Eric in Kisumu. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I've been trying to call some time to put in some thoughts. Today, PLO Lumumba talked, and he actually said what I've been saying all the way from 1996.
Which is what?
That we need to see what happened to Rwanda for us to end corruption. I even proposed that the only way we can deal with corruption in Kenya is through a civil war. Punitivities, but believe me, we need to have some punitive measures for us to see the correct thing. So, it is true that so far as Kenyans, we are blind. We are not seeing the wrongs that is happening. We don't know our rights. We have been kept ignorant by the fact that we don't even know the Constitution. So, it is true we need to have some punitive measures to add so that we can stand up for it. Yes.
I hear you. Thank you for your call. And since 1996, but I guess today you've been validated on a number of things.
Yeah.
But thank you for your contribution this morning.
It's all taken almost 30 years.
Imagine.
So we should get to it.
All in time. Asante sana.
Thank you.
We're still taking your calls this morning. 0732 142 or 0732 142 A number of things coming to the fore that you didn't even realize actually is your right. And I saw something in the comments just a few seconds ago on that, a lot of people they take fear and they weaponize it.
Yep.
What would be a normal emotion or a normal feeling for people? In the event that somebody's, coming to you, the first thing that you feel is fear. But they weaponize that fear because they know, number one, you're afraid. You know why they know you're
Exactly.
afraid? Because they know that you do not know your rights. So you can imagine now if you're armed with knowledge, fear takes a back seat. Abby? All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to
Hello,
you.
good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Please could you speak up a bit, please, and just tell us your name and where you're calling from?
This is Naruko calling from Kisumu.
Yes, sir.
In fact, what I'm trying to tell you, is that some of us know our rights, but it doesn't work.
Why? The rights don't work. What's happening?
For example, if a policeman comes to arrest you and you tell him will you produce your identity card? What a slap you will get. Oh, my God.
Even that slap that he might give you, it's within your right to not be slapped.
Yes.
But what can you do then? With me, one day I was arrested.
What did you do?
To court and charged with a drunk and disorder, and I've never taken an alcohol.
You were not drunk and you were not disorderly. So in that position, you know what you were taken to court before a magistrate. You were presented before a magistrate.
And I was charged with 300 bob.
No, let me ask you, were you presented before a magistrate?
I was presented before a magistrate in court.
Did you tell the magistrate that you were insisting, for example, on a test to see if you were actually intoxicated and being disorderly? These are the rights that we're talking about.
I was afraid to go to remand, so I just produced 300 bob and I was released.
You see, that's the problem.
That right there. Because they know your fear and they took advantage of that.
That's the case.
That's the case. Now imagine if you had insisted before the magistrate that no test was done. How do they know that you are drunk or disorderly? Maybe you are just a happy-go-lucky guy. And that there are even some people that I know that they look very happy and you can think that they're drunk. It's not the case.
Yes.
It's not the case. But beyond the joke, honestly, sir, that you paid that money because you were afraid. But there was nothing for you to be afraid of if truly you were not drunk and or disorderly.
In fact, I was afraid of time taken,
Time wasted.
Time wasted.
Time wasted. So I just cough out 300 bob and then I was rested.
You are a free man.
Yeah.
Thank you for your call this morning, Asante Sana.
Thank you.
It's great that the call that has just buffered what was in the statement sentiment came out this morning, that fear is weaponized.
Yes.
They know you do not know.
No.
So they will hold that over you. Knowledge. A couple more calls, we'll take them. Yes, sir, you wanted to say something.
You know, another area where Kenyans find themselves not knowing what to do. You moved into a house. You are in an agreement. When you leaving the house, do you know your right to getting your deposit back? Where?
You know, sasa wewe umeleta story hapa 5 minutes to 10 o'clock.
It actually says, right to the return of your deposit. If you leave the property in the agreed condition and have met your obligations, your landlord should refund your security deposit subject to any lawful deduction.
This story for painting and we will whatever.
If you paint it yourself, you return that house to how you found it.
Yes.
Inafaa kurudishia pesa yako.
You know that can be an entire
Do you know
hour.
when you pay your rent, you're supposed to be given receipt. That even when you've delayed to pay rent, your landlord should not come and remove your roof, should not come
remove
and
your door,
should
or
not
lock your
weld
door.
your door,
or
they should not remove your door. It is your right. Do you know these rights?
Where? We'll take the last call this morning. I reckon that there are a lot of people who've slept outside on a cold, rainy day because they didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Raymond Dakachiel. Hello, good morning to you, madam.
Dakachiel,
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm Onyango from Bondo.
Yes, Onyango from Bondo. Tell us, do you know your rights? Even 1, 2, 3.
No, I don't know most of my rights. But before we come to that, I want to congratulate you for the good work that you are doing together with the Standard newspaper.
Asante sana, Chief.
Other than being educative, now let me tell you one thing which I want you to add in your gallery of lies about Mr.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Bondo, you have a road which goes up to
Lunda.
Yeah, in early 2023.
Yes.
When he came there,
Who?
he promised us that in 6 months' time,
Yes.
that road will be completed.
Lunda.
Leonda.
Leunda.
Road, yeah.
Eh.
And it is now about 4 years, about 4 years, I think.
2022 to 2026 indeed is 4 years.
2023.
2023 it's 3 years now.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years now. Nothing has happened, not even contractor on site.
Okay.